We, as business and real estate owners who have poured blood, sweat, and tears to growing our wealth, and who didn't hire expensive tax attorneys and CPAs to map out an exit strategy, knew their secrets. Instead of recreating the wheel, why can't we just model the way they deferred 30 to 50% in tax, paid off debt, funded their next business dream, and most importantly, leave a financial legacy to give to the causes we believe in most? What if their secrets weren't complicated at all, and you just need a guide who is a few steps ahead of you? That is the question, and this podcast will give you the answers. My name is Brett Swarts, and welcome to Capital Gains Tax Solutions. Welcome to another episode of the Capital Gains Tax Solutions podcast, where we believe most high net worth individuals and those who help them struggle with clarifying their capital gains tax deferral options. Not having a clear plan is the enemy, and using a proven tax deferral strategy, such as the Deferred Sales Trust, is the best way for you to grow your wealth. Hey, I'm your host, Brett Swarts. In each episode, I'm joined by some of the best financial independents and passive income wealth advisors in the world, where they share their ideas, deal stories, and in tax deferral strategies, so we can make passive income plans achievable and tax deferral strategies very clear. So with that being said, I'm excited about our next guest. He is a CFP. He is an AEP, a CPWA, and he's a Chief Executive Officer of BFG Financial Advisors. It's an independent firm assisting clients with wealth creation, preservation, and distribution. He has over 25 years of experience in financial planning and founded the firm in Baltimore in 2003. And BFG provides investment, retirement, estate, insurance, and comprehensive financial planning services for families, professionals, executives, and business owners. He has a ton of wealth and knowledge to share with us today. And so, Eric, welcome to the show. Eric Brotman.
Hi, Brett. Thanks so much for having me. Excited to do this.
Yes, thanks for being here. And so, Eric, let me give our listeners just a quick overview of your background and your current focus.
Sure. My background's been in financial planning and wealth management now since the early 90s. And I founded, as you mentioned, I founded a firm back in 2003, which was myself and two part-time people. We've now grown the firm to 21 folks, 8 financial advisors. We have clients in 30 states. And we work with multi-generational families. We work with folks not only to grow wealth, but to preserve it, and frankly, to try and keep some of it from the tax man. So the theme of the show is right up our alley, because one of the things we definitely preach is that just like high fees can hurt you, so can high taxes.
You got it. You know, it's we define winning as tax deferral, and we define losing as paying the tax. So and finding out a way for clients and families to keep that working for them and for those that they care about most. So that being said, Eric, I'm curious, what's your number one, or one of the top most frustrating things about a tax deferral strategy? Maybe tie it into to what we're seeing in the market today.
The biggest one that we see, the one we see the most commonly, is that folks who have portfolios that have become out of balance, where, recently, the last 10 years, U.S. equity markets just blew everybody else out of the water, and growth outperformed value, and large cap outperformed small cap, and lots of things that aren't necessarily always the case. And the problem is that then you have this position in your account that's got a huge gain on it. And rather than rebalancing the account, which I grant you takes discipline, but rather than rebalancing it, people oftentimes would prefer to wait because they're afraid to pay the taxes on the gains. So, we often see folks who are perfectly happy to take a tax loss, but for the psychological torture of feeling like they lost money. But they also don't want to pay the tax gain, which is an acknowledgement that at least in that particular strategy, they made money. And so it creates inertia. And so if you don't trade out of those positions, you eventually get some kind of pullback, some kind of reversion to the mean. And that's what we see. And, in the last couple of months, a lot of people gave a bunch of gains back they didn't have to, simply because they were afraid of paying the capital gains tax.
So if I'm hearing you correctly, it's the timing of it, and it's also the psychological part of it. But if someone had a solution where they could sell at the right time and maybe go back in an optimal timing, and that's what we call it here with the Deferred Sales Trust. If there was an elegant way to do that, that would be very valuable for you and your clients.
Oh, without question. I mean, most of the time when people think about avoiding capital gains, they think of a couple of things. They think of step up in basis, which means you can't enjoy your own money. You have to wait until you die, which is lovely for the next generation, but not for this one. Or it's postponing a transaction and therefore getting stuck by the inertia we talked about. or it involves charitable planning, which is wonderful, and philanthropy is terrific, but that creates a whole bunch of other strings attached to your various assets. So sure, an elegant solution would be lovely, Brett.
Exactly. Well, we want to dive into more of that on this next episode with Eric. In fact, this is just a teaser for you guys. So, as an introduction to Eric, but we're going to be covering 4 ways to pay less in taxes with Eric Brotman. And it's going to be released in about 30 days. But in the meantime, Eric, if someone wants to connect with you right now, where can they find you?
Our website is bfgfa.com, and there are ways to find us right there online.
Excellent. And for the listeners who are now piqued your curiosity with the Deferred Sales Trust, you can also reach us at capitalgainstaxsolutions.com, and we can walk through the optimal timing tax-deferred wealth plan that we use. And with that, please share, subscribe, and rate and review. We always love that. And thank you again for listening to the Capital Gains Tax Solutions podcast. As always, we believe most high net worth individuals and those who help them struggle with clarifying their capital gains tax deferral options. Not having a clear plan is the enemy, and using a proven tax deferral strategy is the best way for you to grow your wealth. With that, thank you so much for listening, and hope to have you on the next show.
You have just listened to another information-packed episode of Capital Gains Tax Solutions with Brett Swarts. We hope you enjoyed today's show and found it helpful. Visit capitalgainstaxsolutions.com to access the show notes and to access more resources. Don't forget to leave a review and join us again next time.